Okay, this should be recording. Hi there and Happy New Year 2025. See, mine started with a banger, as in I had a cold, and that got me bedridden for quite a while, so that's why no videos since then. And now my voice is returning, so I decided to make a video because I kind of missed it. Anyway, the topic for this video is storytelling and the epiphany I got during December. Now, you know those words, once upon a time, that start almost every story in any childhood, or something along those lines? Gets you captivated, motivated to stick through and hopefully kind of like have a good tale, investing your time, seeing all the adventure and unknown mysteries unfold. In hopes of having a satisfying ending or rewarding ending equal to the attention and time or emotions and feelings invested along the ride and experience, we tend to be put in a state of just accepting whatever is happening on screen. Well, some people can be more critical about it, and some people get very analytic when watching movies, series, listening to a story, and they literally go into an investigator or Sherlock Holmes mode. But the general people like me, or maybe people like you, we just tend to set all our filters down and let the experience do its thing. And we always hope for something good.
In a faraway land, long ago, lived a king and his fair queen. Many years had they longed for a child, and finally their wish was granted. A daughter was born, and they called her Aurora. Sweet Aurora. Yes, they named her after the dawn, for she filled their lives with sunshine. Then a great holiday was proclaimed throughout the kingdom, so that all of high or low estate might pay homage to the infant princess. And our story begins on that most joyful day. On that joyful day, on that joyful day. Joyfully now to our princess we come, bringing gifts and all good wishes too. We pledge our loyalty anew. Hail to the Princess Aurora. All of her subjects adore her. Hail to the King, hail to the Queen, hail to the Princess Aurora. Health to the Princess, wealth to the Princess, long live the Princess Aurora.
As you can see, storytelling has always been around, and it is, to me, partly responsible for shaping humanity as we know it today. See, the insight I recently got, to be exact, it was on the date of December 9th, 2024, as I was working out, and during the workout, I watched a video of Dan Koe on YouTube. You know, Dan Koe is this guy who is known for his discipline and productivity. And the way he uses discipline and productivity is to such a level that it is beyond being an expert and a professional. He gets really good results with it. And the way he gets those results, he kind of documents his process and puts that all in a video based on his background and all the knowledge from all the several fields he is really well versed in. And then he starts teaching people online. He has his own courses, he has his own website, but he also has videos he puts on YouTube just to give people a head start and a kind of idea on how he did things. And in that way, he creates other versions of himself within other people in terms of the mentality needed to get the results he gets and the discipline, also to be able to track yourself and move along. So he literally just sets goals and has the discipline to do the things necessary to achieve those goals in a certain period of time. And he is consistent. He works smart, not hard. That's the key ingredient. Anyway, this guy, as I subscribed to him back then, he had around 281,000 subscribers. By the time I was watching this video on the 9th of December, 2024, he had around 854,000 subscribers. So a lot had happened in between that time, which also shows that he had some good methods on getting results. There's a time when he hoped for 300,000 subscribers, he got them. 500,000 subscribers, he got them. And from then on, he just kept on doing his thing. As you can hear from what I'm telling you about him, this guy is literally a unicorn. Now, all the time as I was subscribed to him, he never had a guest on his channel for an interview. Maybe he would make a call, but he never had like a real guest to interview on his channel. And on that day, that's when he had his first guest ever since I was subscribed to him. I might have missed something, but that was the first guest I saw. So I figured, if the unicorn is having a guest over for the first time on his channel, then that guest must also be some kind of a unicorn. And that is why I decided to watch that video from start to finish. And I must say, I wasn't disappointed at all. It was an eye-opening moment. It was also the reason that I was able to piece things together and have my insight on storytelling. And it is also because of the very peculiar points of view of Danko, and with his guest Devon Eriksen. Let me see, did I get the name right? The name should be... Yeah, Devon Eriksen was the guest.
I just finished a conversation with Devon Eriksen, who recently blew up on Twitter and social media with his harsh truths and deeply articulate insights. He is also the author of a new science fiction book titled Theft of Fire, and this is the first fiction book that I've read in almost 10 years, and I think that is a testament to the quality of this conversation as a whole. Now, I came across Devon after Naval Ravikant reposted one of his tweets, and I was instantly hooked. I followed him, I continued reading his content, and it was incredible. He was saying the things that I knew deep down but did not know how to articulate. Then naturally, I instantly bought his book, I burned through it, and now we're here. So in this conversation, we talk about how to future-proof yourself going into the age of AI, what's wrong with the current school system and how people learn skills as a whole, why agency is the most important trait you can develop to become free, why intelligence is not a good predictor of overall success, how to find direction in life and remove dangerous self-limiting beliefs, how Devon left his career as a software engineer, built an audience, and became an independent author and creator, and much more. I hope that you enjoy this conversation with Devon Eriksen. I want to start with that very first post of yours that I came across, and it was you responding to Yuval Noah Harari, like a clip of him saying that nobody knows what to learn because nobody knows what will be relevant 20 years from now.
Yes.
And then you started it with, that's because this dude doesn't know what education is.
Yes, indeed.
Which that caught my attention immediately.
Yeah.
And you went on to say this, in my opinion, the 7 liberal arts of the modern world are logic, how to derive truth from known facts, statistics, how to understand the implications of data, rhetoric, how to persuade and spot persuasion tactics, research, how to gather information on an unknown subject, parentheses, practical psychology, how to discern and understand the true motives of others, investment, how to manage and grow existing assets, and agency, how to make decisions about what course to pursue and proactively take action to pursue it. This will set us up for the entire podcast, so I want to start with this question. What do you find wrong with the current education system, and why are we not teaching what you call these liberating arts?
Well, the root cause of what is wrong with the education system is that a third party is paying for it. You know, we could go on all day sort of nitpicking the symptoms, but that is the disease. And when something is being paid for, the person who pays for it is the customer, and it is the customer who gets served. So when you don't pay for your education, when the government pays for your education through money that it has taken from other people, then the government decides on some level what you are going to learn, and you do not have so much as a veto power, because if you pack your bags and go somewhere else to some other college, you're getting the same thing. You know, that what we call education today is mostly actually training. And that is the kind of education that in Rome would have been given to slaves.
He's some older guy in his, let me say, 40s or 50s. And his point of view was as follows. Titles are what you call yourself based on your professions, skills, and personality. To him, titles are supposed to be seen as tools. With titles, it means something like you're a doctor, a dentist, a, let me say, gardener, butcher, painter, artist, musician. You could also be singer-songwriter, an author. You could also be a film director and a gardener, or so much more. All those things are titles based on your personality, skills, and profession, mostly. Now, most people tend to focus on the escalation of the titles, let me say from junior level to senior, and then expert, and then professional level, as in world professional level. And that is what is called something like a career. And then he said something like, if humans only focus on the titles, the prestige they bring with them, the good benefits, the fame, status, clout, then they will get narrow-minded and forget about the broader picture, or won't even be able to see the broader picture. It is better if humans see titles as tools and still are open to having a wide set of skills and being generalists of a kind, because in that way, those titles are not tying down your identity. You're not fixed to just one title. You have many things, and you can be an expert at some things, but you're not just specialized in that one thing, so that if something happens, you only have that one thing that you put all your time into, and then it's gone. So him and Dan Koe actually agree on this point, that generalism is a good thing for humans. Like back then in the Roman times, people were generalists, and the thing they learned the best was to learn how to learn new things. That is what Dan Koe said. Dan Koe was more specifically saying, you need agency. Agency is doing the things necessary to act upon the steps that get you to achieving your goals. And to nurture agency, you need to have discipline, adaptability, flexibility, a curiosity, and also a persistence to keep on doing the thing that you're doing consistently. It doesn't have to be a lot of time that you spend on that. It can also just be 1 hour a day. That is more than enough. Or let me say regularly, on a regular basis, about 3 to 4 times a week, 1 to 1.5 hours, and then you're set. Within 1 year, you'll be a totally different human. Eriksen and Dan Koe agree upon generalism, And Eriksen added the following: the titles that you have, the rewards you get from your professions and skills, which are like the value in people's eyes that you are providing, equate to the return that you get, as in the fucks given about the value you are providing. So if you want the value you are providing to be more than what you currently have, you'll have to have more value to give to people. And it means not what you think is valuable, but what the people really need and deem as valuable is the point of view you have to start from, and then see what you can create matching to that based on your skills, profession, and abilities. Now, Devon also added that the best way to do things is to have a wide set of skills as a generalist, and then find out what people exactly need, what they want in the world, and then look at your skills and your profession or abilities. Try to create a product, something that you can give to people back as value. You can teach, you can give courses, you can make PDFs, ebooks, you can create a masterclass, you can sell things online, or you can have real physical products that benefit people's lives. And the more benefit that people will get out of that is the value that will be rising. And then people will automatically come to you, and you'll be getting great returns, which is more money, more status, fame, respect, clout, whatever it is. Now, before getting to the point of people knowing and getting to you, there is something that Dan Koe added that people really need, and that is very important. That would be, what do they call it? An audience. Yes. Dan Koe and Devon Eriksen are really hell-bent on saying that if you don't have an audience, you will not be able to pull as much people who see the value in the skills and abilities and experience you have that you are providing as much as when you would have an audience. So Dan Koe's way of going about this is, first of all, maybe put yourself out there. Create a website, a blog, be on the internet. The easiest way for him is YouTube and writing. So literally everything that is put on the internet, let it be stories, movies, articles, blogs, interviews, everything, it has some kind of a script. It has been written somewhere, put down somewhere. So what he was saying is that you need to have an audience. You need to build up an audience. The audience will then start looking at you, being a bit skeptical, but then they get to know you, and the more you put yourself out there is when they will get used to you. And if you're consistent in what you're doing and the way you are and you're authentic, people will start trusting you, and that is how you will build rapport. And if you build that rapport, which is like a connection to your viewers, they will start identifying you as the person to go to for certain things. Then when you continue building up your momentum and getting better at whatever you're doing and putting yourself out there, you will be seen as an expert of a certain thing or field, or you will have a certain set of skills and knowledge that people value for a certain kind of field. And from then on, you're not only the expert, you'll get even better, and you will be like the go-to person for that thing. You will be known for that thing. Even memes might even be created on the internet. If someone pops up with a question to that thing, your face will be there. Literally like a digital dictionary for people who need knowledge on that specific topic. You'll be that person. And that is when you will not have to chase people, advertising, doing all you can, putting all your efforts into showing yourself. It will be more like you're just doing your thing, and people will start coming to you, asking you for your wisdom, knowledge, experience, expertise, and help, which is the value you will be giving. And then you can start charging people for that kind of value and expertise, wisdom, experience, profession that you're providing. And from then on, it's just a scaling thing. A scaling, like, how do you scale? Do you charge more? Do you give people more quality time? Do you do more one-on-ones? Are you doing more group things? Are you doing tours? Are you creating insane masterclasses and all that stuff? So to sum it all up, be a generalist, find out what people need with your general skills and everything that you can provide, start providing that thing. And while you're also doing that, make sure to kind of like document your process, because that will then turn into a masterclass that you can pass on to people. And if it's really good, after giving enough free stuff and people start finding you and asking for your professional wisdom, you can then be like the go-to person, and then you can start charging them for that, and then you'll start having an income, and then with that income you can reinvest it and get better whatever you're doing, buy better equipment, create more quality goods, and then things will start rolling. Devon Eriksen and Dan Koe agreed upon all that, and they said that is how you get more value to people, and that is how people view you as a valuable person, and that is how your value rises over time. As you get better, you build momentum, and that is how you get people to give more fucks about you. Now, this guest, Devon Eriksen, also said that people in the corporate world, they have titles to show the kind of value they are providing to the company. And the higher the title, the more risks you have, the more responsibilities you get, the more stress you kind of get. But if you can withstand that stress and you can manage yourself well, that is how you get the money that you get matching to the title. And if you're worthy of it and the people even see more potential in you, you will even get higher. And that is how people climb up the corporate ladder. But if that isn't your thing, then just do the method that they say before, which is like put yourself out there, be consistent, have something that you can provide to people, and use a wide set of skills by learning how to maybe just even film yourself, have good sound, the equipment that you need for that, have a good picture, how to do the lighting, and make the people see you visibly and see that you're really doing your best. And then don't chop up things too much, don't over-edit, just put yourself out there and be in people's faces in a good way with quality and value, and you will have no issues growing, getting followers, getting better, and having people talk about you, people finding value in the stuff that you're providing if you're consistent and you have done your research, because do your research, it's very important. People will cross-check what you're saying. And over time, if you blink, a year will pass, or even 2 years or 3 years, you will totally be a different person from who you started as. Even me right now. This is like my 14th or 15th video. You don't see me doing all the other videos that I try to do and then it just backfires and it's really, really bad and doesn't work at all. And I just throw it out or discard the video, delete it after trying to look at it and edit it a bit, because I'm not a fan of over-editing things. I want things to be kind of like something that people can relate to. So if I look like some super Steven Spielberg movie quality stuff and I'm on YouTube, that will, I also feel disassociated with myself as I watch that kind of super edited material. So that is why I keep it low, have the basic good lighting, good sound, a bit of music, intro, outro, title, and a good, let me say, what do they call it? Thumbnail, and then I hope for the rest to do its magic and wonders. Now, as you can see, that was like a big introduction to what caused me to get the epiphany of the topic storytelling. As I said, storytelling to me is something that shapes the world, that has shaped society as we know it today, and is also the reason for people of different cultures around the world, origins and religions, behaving, acting, doing things that they are doing, and embodying their human expression as they are doing. There is also the thing of upbringing and the people around oneself as you're growing up. Their stories and also the stories they tell are crucial to the development of the child to the adult. I can say for myself, if I hadn't been born in Africa and hadn't had the spiritual family and the background of my ancestors and the bloodlines, the indigenous people of that part of the world, I wouldn't be the person that I am today, right now. If I was like born in Germany or in Europe, or let me say in a foreign first world country like the USA or Netherlands, whatsoever, I would have been a totally different person. And the thing that makes me who I am today, as well as the thing that makes you who you are today, is mostly the way storytelling was done by the people around you, the grown-ups, by the things that you consumed, stories, books, media, and the way the people around you and society around you, definitely the culture too, was telling the story about itself, or were telling the stories about themselves. All that forms like a complete, I would say, bowl, not bowl. It could also be a bowl that is holding everything of all the stories you have ever heard, experienced, and have been told and read about or consumed, and that subconsciously forms the you that you are today, as it did with me, as the rest of humanity. And there are certain patterns of how the stories form the people that create groups that turn into societies, that turn into, what do they call it? Maybe countries or something like that. As in, like, when people agree upon certain things in a certain way due to a certain background and certain reasons, that creates then an emerging populace of humans. And you can identify those humans as being from a certain part, having certain traits, behaving in certain ways, and having certain personalities. And it's all to me due to storytelling. So that's why storytelling is very crucial to me. And now we are going to talk about storytelling of itself, why I had the epiphany and felt like I have to share it, how to make use of storytelling as an individual, how you can see it with other people and everything around you, the stories that they are telling, that are unfolding, all for the purpose of having a better life, a more clear path for yourself, and defining maybe a new story that you want to tell about yourself that will change the whole being and person that you are now to the person you're going to become. Because that's how I got to where I am now today. And that has helped me be able to just like switch from a person I used to be to a person I want to be and feel comfortable being and presenting myself as. And I think that's the most crucial thing in life, finding out who you are, what you don't really like about yourself, what you want to change, who you want to be, the kind of person you would idolize and feel like, oh my gosh, that is like my role model, as in your potential fully realized, and then creating goals with checkpoints and steps in little steps that you can take and act upon, agency, remember from Danko, to then be able to achieve those goals. And in time, when you look into the mirror and look at your reflection, you'll be like, I'm proud of myself. And you'll be very proud of the younger self for having put in the efforts that they did to create the version that you would become by then, as in your future version, with the potential half to fully realized or on the way of fully realizing yourself. And that also ties into this kind of spiritual thing of alchemy, alchemizing your body, as in really utilizing the potential of your body, your biology, and your spirit, mind, and wits to turn into a transcendent being and be above the happenings of life, that you can take part in them, but you are not tied to them. That is what the Buddhists will call like a bodhisattva, someone who has transcended physical reality, is living above physical reality, but takes part in physical reality whenever they want to, can even impart wisdom onto those of the physical reality, but is not tied to the wheel of fate and is not tied to the happenings of physical reality if they don't feel like it. So all the masters we have heard of, the ascended masters like Adama Saint Germain, Yeshua ben Joseph, who is also Jesus, Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. There have been like many people who have reached the Buddha state, but the one that we know most of is Siddhartha, who was a prince that gave up everything and even left his wife and child and went to discover himself. So we can see that knowing thyself has always been the center of the true power of every human and every being on the planet. So if you know yourself, that is what people do ayahuasca trips for. That is why people go to certain places to find gurus and find teachers. That is why people go on expeditions or travel the world just to see different cultures and then see what other humans are like and then get all the info and try to see how they can use all those kinds of ways of living to become their best version. So, as I said, knowing thyself is also the center of storytelling. And after knowing thyself, you will get so much information and power and a clear vision about yourself and your life and what you expect from it. And you will see like the difference between who you are and who you want to be. And you will then create a path and then become whoever you want to be. And it will be great if you have fun at doing that and you're excited about it. So the goals you set will have to be kind of exciting and attractive to you. Smart in a way that you can kind of like measure them to be able to track them and have checkpoints. And on those checkpoints, you can reward yourself and give yourself a timeline or kind of like a deadline on when to achieve the certain checkpoints, the small steps of the path to your ultimate goal of realizing yourself, knowing thyself, to become the ultimate version of yourself. And of course, that will not be the end because there will always be things that you can keep on learning. But if you keep an open mind with curiosity and you are flexible and adaptive to your surroundings, my friend, there is nothing you cannot achieve in this world. And yeah, that is what I would say is what happened to me as I had the realization and I was able to put the pieces together due to the talk that Dan Koe had with his guest, Devon Eriksen. And now let's get to the point of the whole storytelling thing. So before I get to that, I'll have to tell you about my background and what gives me the audacity to be able to talk about this topic with such confidence. So this will be part 1, and part 2 is coming right up. Maybe right after this, within this video, or even as a separate segment to keep things clear and clean so that it's not too long for you. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it in the next one. It's going to be 2 videos because it will be too long and then seeing something like 60 minutes is too much. So I'm just going to cut it up into pieces, and the epiphany and the whole explanation to storytelling is now the first part, and what storytelling is about and how to utilize it and make use of it to know thyself and then know others and see and analyze them way better than you have till now is going to be the next part. So look forward to it. As I said, like and subscribe. Help this video get out there to other people because the more likes I get, the more it will be distributed by YouTube and the algorithm will be like, yeah, I think something's happening there. So yeah, 2025 is going to be a great year with lots of tumultuous challenges. But I think with this kind of breakdown on storytelling, which is coming in the next video, it's going to be very helpful for almost like anyone, unless you already have the wisdom. So that will be all for me. Bye-bye.